the enigmatic scratched pyramid, unraveling the secrets of Userkaf. Hey everyone, get ready to be captivated. Today we're diving into the intriguing story of the scratched pyramid. Yes, that's right, scratched. This isn't just a random name. It's a tale steeped in mysteries and secrets that might have forever altered the course of ancient Egyptian history. Can you imagine a pyramid of this magnitude, brimming with untold enigmas, ultimately becoming nothing more than a pile of shattered stones in the sands of Saqqara? Is it conceivable that a great pharaoh and founder of a new dynasty, Userkaf, the patriarch of the illustrious Fifth Dynasty, would choose to build his pyramid in Saqqara, abandoning the colossal pyramids of Giza, which were the trend of his ancestors like King Khufu? Was this merely a change of address because the king grew tired of Giza? Or was there a royal conspiracy, or perhaps a religious transformation that reshaped the entire concept of governance and kingship in ancient Egypt? What's the story behind the sudden emergence of Son of Ra, which shifted pharaonic priorities from massive pyramids to expansive sun temples that have practically vanished today? How were the resources and wealth once dedicated to the grandeur of the pharaohs suddenly redirected to the worship of the sun god? And most importantly, how did a pyramid of this size, with all its religious and royal symbolism, collapse and become a mere heap of ruins? Was it due to poor construction, as archaeological sources suggest, or a pharaoh's curse, as popular narratives claim? Or is there something far greater we've yet to discover? We'll uncover all this and many more secrets today on an exciting and mysterious journey that will reveal the unknown truths of Userkaf's pyramid. Stay with me moment by moment. This video won't let you sleep tonight. When we talk about grandeur or Khufu and his immense pyramid often come to mind, right? They're the traditional heroes. But some kings genuinely marked a turning point in Egypt's history, completely changing the game. Userkaf was one of them. This man ruled for a relatively short period, from around 2494 to 2487 BCE, just about 7 years. Yet these 7 years were enough for him to bring about a radical and pivotal shift in the political and religious landscape of ancient Egypt. Why? Because he founded the Fifth Dynasty, and that in itself is a story worth pausing for. Userkaf was a strategic thinker with a clear vision for the future of his reign and new dynasty. That's why he made two brilliant political and religious moves to solidify his legitimacy and ensure governmental stability after a period of unrest at the end of the Fourth Dynasty, which was plagued by rivalries for the throne. This was a masterstroke, legitimacy and stability in one fell swoop. Second, and most importantly, Userkaf significantly elevated the worship of the god Ra, the sun god, to the extent that he built the first large sun temple for him in Abu Sir. This was a groundbreaking and game-changing precedent that became a trend throughout the entire Fifth Dynasty. Imagine a king completely altering the religious and political paradigm. In the Fourth Dynasty, pharaohs considered themselves embodied gods, constructing massive pyramids like those at Giza to glorify themselves as deities walking the earth. But Userkaf declared, no more. The concept had changed. The pharaoh was now son of Ra, not the god himself. This altered everything in royal and religious thought. This transformation had profound implications. The focus shifted to the worship of Ra as a symbol of divine authority, with the king merely an intermediary between Ra and humanity. This directly impacted architectural projects, as resources previously spent on colossal pyramids to deify the pharaoh were largely redirected to building vast sun temples for the direct worship of Ra. In other words, the emphasis was now on sun worship and its temples, not just the king's grand pyramid that glorified him alone. What strategic thinking to reshape the very structure of the state?
Now, let's turn to Userkaf's pyramid itself, which bears the curious and intriguing popular name, the Scratched Pyramid or Heap of Stones. Why was it named this? Because, sadly, it's now just a pile of rubble, or a mound of ruined stones, due to the extensive deterioration it suffered over thousands of years. This leads us to the first major and perplexing mystery of this pyramid story. Why did a pyramid of a dynasty-founding pharaoh and a great ruler reach such a state of decay and neglect? In the Fourth Dynasty, pyramids were enormous, like those at Giza, representing the pharaoh's absolute power and deification as a god on earth. The king would expend all the immense resources, efforts, and capabilities of the state on building his eternal tomb, meant to last forever. However, in Userkaf's era, with the religious shift we discussed, the situation fundamentally changed. The pharaoh became son of Ra, and a significant portion of the resources previously allocated to massive pyramids for the sole glorification of the pharaoh was redirected to constructing vast sun temples for the direct worship of Ra. This meant the focus shifted to sun worship, not just the king's grand pyramid. As a result, Fifth Dynasty royal pyramids became somewhat smaller compared to Fourth Dynasty royal pyramids. This demonstrates how profoundly religion can alter the very form of architecture. The location was also unusual. Userkaf chose the Saqqara area to build his pyramid instead of Giza, which was the preferred site for the preceding royal family. Specifically, he chose to build his pyramid in the northeastern part of Djoser's Step Pyramid complex. This was a very strategic and clever decision. Why? To revert to the traditions of the Third Dynasty, which were sacred to the ancient Egyptians, and to link himself to the esteemed legacy of King Djoser, who built the oldest stone pyramid in history. This was a brilliant political maneuver by the new Fifth Dynasty to assert their legitimacy and proclaim themselves as an extension of great kings like Djoser, unlike the Fourth Dynasty, which supposedly squandered all resources on extravagance alone. Additionally, there were practical site constraints, such as a large trench around Djoser's complex, which limited available space to the east. So, history shows that sometimes difficult circumstances breed creativity and unconventional solutions that change history. Now, let's talk about the construction techniques themselves, which are why the pyramid reached this state of deterioration. The core of this pyramid was built with small blocks of local limestone. Not only that, but it was also very poorly built, meaning it lacked the precision, quality, and craftsmanship seen in the Giza pyramids, which have endured for thousands of years. Why was this the case? The main reason was to significantly save on labor and resources. This indicates economic pressures or a shift in construction priorities, with sun temples taking precedence over the pyramid itself. The pyramid primarily relied on an outer casing of fine limestone to give it an imposing and stunning appearance from the outside, concealing the shoddy construction within. But when this casing was plundered by stone thieves over the centuries, the pyramid lost its external support and collapsed, becoming a pile of ruins. Oh, the ravages of time and destruction! This tells us something very important. Fourth Dynasty pyramids focused on structural durability and permanent physical presence as a symbol of the pharaoh's absolute and eternal authority. However, Userkaf's pyramid emphasized symbolic function and external appearance more than durability. What mattered was the immediate visual impact and the religious rituals performed within the complex, not that the pyramid should last forever like the Giza pyramids. This represents a clear and explicit concession in construction quality, reflecting a significant shift in resource allocation and the evolution of religious thought. In other words, it wasn't crucial for the pyramid to last long. What mattered was for the king to reach the afterlife through the god Ra, whose son he was.
Userkaf's pyramid, folks, wasn't alone. No, it was part of a very large and complex funerary ensemble, comprising more than one building. There was a mortuary temple, an offering chapel, a cult pyramid, and another separate pyramid for his wife, Queen Neferhetep's. Sadly, most of these structures are now completely ruined. The mortuary temple, the cult pyramid, and Queen Neferhetep's pyramid are all piles of rubble, making it difficult to discern their original forms. What's strange, young people,
is that Userkaf's mortuary temple was on the south side of the main pyramid, not to the east, as was customary for most Fourth Dynasty pyramids. So why this change? There are many theories explaining this shift, each adding a new layer of mystery and excitement to the pyramid story. Change in religious belief. One theory suggests that because sun worship gained significant importance and influence in the Fifth Dynasty, the temple was placed to the south, so the sun would directly shine on it throughout the year. This implies a very strong and direct relationship between the sun and the pharaoh's funerary cult. In essence, the temple would absorb the sun's energy to aid the king on his journey to the afterlife. Return to Third Dynasty traditions. Another theory posits that Userkaf wanted to revert to Third Dynasty traditions, which were sacred to the ancient Egyptians, similar to Djoser's step pyramid complex, which followed a north-south axis. He aimed to link himself to ancient traditions to assert his legitimacy. Practical considerations. The third and most realistic theory is that there wasn't enough space to the east to build the temple there, due to the large trench around Djoser's complex, which occupied a considerable area. So, sometimes geographical and technical conditions dictate innovative and unusual architectural solutions. As for the offering chapel, it was separate from the mortuary temple and located on the east side of the pyramid, a unique and distinct feature of Userkaf's funerary complex. It wasn't just any building. Every detail had significance and underlying thought. The walls of the mortuary temple were adorned with exceptionally high-quality reliefs depicting natural scenes like hunting in the marshes. These scenes weren't just drawings. They symbolized Userkaf's triumph over the forces of chaos and evil. What art and symbolic expression, telling a complete story in a single panel.
All right, folks, we've reached the most important part of the video, the deep secrets within the pyramid itself. Here's where the details that drive archaeologists wild emerge. Unlike pyramids with above-ground chambers, all of Userkaf's pyramid chambers are subterranean. They were built in deep trenches dug before the pyramid itself was constructed over them and then covered by the pyramid. The entrance is from the north, from a pavement in the outer courtyard. This is another difference from Fourth Dynasty pyramids, whose entrances were on the side of the pyramid itself. The pyramid's substructure is a complex labyrinth. You enter through a long descending passage, 18.5 meters long, which leads to a horizontal passage lined with massive granite blocks. Right in the middle of it is a huge sliding granite door to prevent anyone from entering. After this door, a short passage leads to a T-shaped storage room. The main passage continues to a waiting room, and from there, another passage leads to the king's burial chamber itself. The burial chamber was entirely lined with fine limestone, and its ceiling was gabled, made of very large limestone blocks. This was a common structure for 5th and 6th Dynasty pyramids. It was the standard architectural design of that period. The shocking surprise, folks, is that when they entered the burial chamber, what did they find? They found fragments of an empty basalt sarcophagus. Empty! This means no mummy of the king. So, where is the mummy? Was it stolen? Or was it never buried there in the first place? This is a major mystery that still puzzles scientists to this day. And the bigger, stranger mystery? There are no inscriptions or writings on the inner walls of the pyramid. This is contrary to later pyramids of the same dynasty, like Teti's and Unis's pyramids, which were filled with pyramid texts containing very complex hieroglyphic spells and prayers to assist the pharaoh on his journey to the afterlife. So why are there no inscriptions in Userkaf's pyramid? This indicates an evolution in funerary beliefs at the beginning of the Fifth Dynasty. During this period, it was believed that the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife occurred through his direct connection with the god Ra, emphasizing his status as Ra's son, and perhaps through the rituals performed in the sun temple that Userkaf built, not through written spells inside the tomb itself. In other words, the focus shifted from a written guidebook on the walls to direct worship of the sun as the path to the afterlife. Userkaf's pyramid is a testament to this transitional phase, which prioritized sun worship over complex inscriptions within tombs.
All right, folks, we've reached the most exciting part of the video, the secrets and mysteries that still baffle scientists and ordinary people, fueled by unofficial theories and popular stories passed down through generations. Number 1, the mystery of King Userkaf's missing mummy. Where's the pharaoh, folks? This is the mystery that will drive you crazy. As we mentioned, the sarcophagus was found empty, with no trace of King Userkaf's mummy. Was it stolen in later eras, despite all the complexity of the passages? Or was this entire pyramid merely a decoy for the king's actual tomb, which might be somewhere else entirely? This ongoing mystery, folks, feeds popular narratives, making this pyramid a constant source of fascination for those who love enigmas. Imagine, with all these security measures, the most important thing, the pharaoh's body, disappeared. This void is filled by speculation and popular theories, showing us that when historical evidence is incomplete, the mystery and allure increase dramatically, especially when it concerns unsolved mysteries. Number 2, secret passages and tunnels. A labyrinth or what? This pyramid, folks, contains secret passages and tunnels within the rocky plateau it was built on, and not all of them are understood to this day. The presence of these complex, not fully understood passages reflects a very advanced level of funerary engineering, and they might have functions yet to be discovered. They could be additional layers of deception to mislead robbers, or ritual paths for the king's soul to reach the afterlife easily, or perhaps even other undiscovered chambers that might contain treasures. All this complexity makes us realize that there's still so much we don't know about this pyramid, and secrets are still being revealed gradually. Number 3. Alternative construction theories and mysterious properties. The molten pyramid and the energy machine. Here, folks, imagination plays its part and mind-blowing theories emerge. The pyramid now appears dark and has a discolored hue, and its mud bricks are eroded. One theory suggests that local farmers removed these mud bricks to use as fertilizer in the 19th and 20th centuries, which caused its appearance to change, making it look as if it melted or burned. This refutes the idea that the pyramid melted or burned, as some popular narratives claim. So sometimes human intervention alters the appearance of an artifact and creates false narratives, which is why archaeological research is crucial to correct these misconceptions and distinguish between fact and fiction. As for these slightly crazy alternative theories circulating on social media, they claim that these pyramids, including Userkaf's, were not just tombs. No, they were electromagnetic energy-producing machines or had other energy-related functions. Some even suggest that extraterrestrial beings built them and they aren't human constructions at all. Why do these theories emerge and spread like wildfire? Because modern humans always love to explain ancient wonders in supernatural ways when traditional explanations aren't enough or aren't exciting enough. This shows how much humans tend to attribute magical or advanced technological properties to ancient structures whose secrets are not fully understood. Number 4, the mysterious water ditch. What new secret does it hide? This pyramid is also surrounded by a massive water ditch over 3 meters deep. It was filled with sand and blocks of sandstone and limestone. The question here is, what was its function, especially since sandstone isn't abundant in this area? Some official sources say that this ditch was meant to absorb rainwater and protect the substructure from floods. But the presence of sandstone, which isn't from the region, makes us wonder, does it have symbolic significance or was its function greater than just water drainage? And alternative theories suggest that this ditch, along with the chambers within the bedrock beneath the pyramid, is evidence that it wasn't an ordinary tomb. Rather, it might have been a secret hydraulic system or part of a larger mechanism we don't yet understand. Oh my, the endless secrets. Number 5, popular stories and narratives. All pyramids in Egypt, including Userkaf's, are known in some popular stories as Joseph's pyramids. These narratives link the pyramids to religious stories like those of Prophet Joseph and Karun, even though the temples in the area date back to the Ptolemaic era long after the pyramid was built. This shows how archaeological history can intertwine with oral and religious tales that emerge later, giving them new meaning in different interpretations. This heritage is alive, and people constantly interpret it in different ways based on their beliefs and imagination. There are also general myths about all pyramids that can be linked to Userkaf. such as modern devices, radar and sonar, not working inside them, or that they purify water, preserve milk, accelerate plant growth, heal wounds, and food doesn't spoil inside them. Some even link them to the mythical continent of Atlantis or extraterrestrial beings, as we mentioned. All these myths reflect humanity's desire to attribute supernatural properties to ancient landmarks, transforming them into symbols of mystery and extraordinary abilities that surpass any modern technology. Furthermore, the story of the Labyrinth Palace associated with the Hawara Pyramid near Fayum, which is said to contain 3,000 rooms and secret mazes. This indicates that the entire pyramid region was a hub for tales of architectural complexity and hidden secrets, increasing the mystery of this entire area and making every pyramid in Egypt a story in itself.
And with that, my dear friends, we've reached the end of our enjoyable and exciting journey into the world of Userkaf's pyramid. This pyramid, folks, is not just an ordinary funerary structure. It's a living testament to the engineering, innovation, and advanced urban planning in the Old Kingdom, specifically at the beginning of the Fifth Dynasty. It's considered a major turning point in Egyptian pyramid architecture, reflecting changes in governmental and religious priorities. Its use of mud brick in the core with an outer casing, its complex internal design, and its unconventional location in Saqqara next to Djoser's pyramid. All these features highlight the brilliance of its engineers and their ability to adapt to environmental, security, political, and religious challenges. The discoveries around the pyramid, such as the mortuary temple and the empty burial chamber, provide us with invaluable information about royal life and funerary beliefs in ancient Egypt. These discoveries not only reveal the grandeur of the pharaohs, but also unveil precise details about the construction techniques of that period, illustrating how compromises in building quality, possibly driven by economic or ideological considerations, impacted the survival of these structures over thousands of years. Despite these clear archaeological facts, the pyramid is still full of secrets and mysteries, such as the disappearance of the king's mummy, the absence of internal decorations and inscriptions, and the mysterious characteristics that fuel alternative theories and popular imagination. These mysteries, whether due to a lack of evidence or people's interpretations, give the pyramid an aura of enigma and make it a constant source of fascination. Userkaf's pyramid is a unique place that combines the scientific precision of archaeologists with the richness of stories and tales passed down through generations. This interaction between documented history and folklore makes it a very important destination for anyone interested in Egyptian civilization, and a symbol of human heritage that blends engineering grandeur with cultural depth. And there are still, folks, many undiscovered and not fully understood aspects of Userkaf's pyramid. This is why archaeological and geophysical research must continue. And who knows, perhaps future research will uncover more secrets, provide us with a deeper understanding of this rich historical era, and enrich our knowledge of one of the greatest civilizations in human history. I hope you enjoyed this video and our journey into the mysterious world of Userkaf's pyramid. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to get all our new content. See you in the next video. Goodbye!